Hello Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video today where we're going to be doing a couple of upgrades. It's the Action Army AAC T10 Airsoft Sniper Rifle. I got this a couple of weeks ago now after some pressure on a live stream to pick it up, but I didn't really fight too much because I'd seen this in a copy of Airsoft International and quite liked it, so I did kind of want to get one because I was intrigued. The only thing I didn't realise at the time though was how so low powered it was. Now because it comes from a country where the joule limits over there are I think 1 joule, this actually came to me at 0.7 joules, so a fair bit under their limits as well, and incredibly under the limits over here. But the good thing is that this actually ships with a 90-degree bolt and a 90-degree trigger, so it should be, in theory, ready for upgrade straight away. So, I have got myself an Action Army M150 spring, which should give me enough power to get me up to the 500 FPS mark, or close to the 500 FPS mark, to be site legal in the UK. And if it does put me over, then I can always cut a few of the coils of the spring off to make it so that I am then within limits. So, yeah, we've got that there. The other thing we're going to be doing today is we're going to be making our air seal perfect, because, you know, air seals, they need to be good. And if they're not good, then that can affect your gun in many different ways. Like the air seal test, when you shoot it and then you put your finger over the end, it's not really like a super big deal to kind of do that. Like it doesn't need to seal it for like a long time because, you know, a BB is going to be out of the barrel in literally milliseconds. So it doesn't really matter too much if you can hold air for a long time. However, if you have got a really good air seal or a perfect air seal, the benefit of that means it's going to be much more consistent when you take your shot, because you're not going to be having air leak out or go other ways. You know, all your air is going the exact same direction. It's all going to the same place, and that means you will be more consistent. So we are going to be hoping to be able to pull the trigger, put a finger over the end, and hold air for a decent amount of time, like at least 10 seconds, I think will be okay. And yeah, that's kind of really the plan. I'm just going to cock it and make sure that the chamber is clear, because I don't want to do an air seal check, put my finger over the end of the barrel, and then shoot myself in the finger, because when people do that hurts a lot. So with that cleared, what I'm going to do, I'm going to poke my finger over the end of the barrel, just like so. I can hear my cat hairballing outside the door. I'm then going to pull the trigger, and then, yeah, we'll take our finger off in 10 seconds time, and then see if we had a seal. Sadly not. Let's do the same thing again, but this time we're only going to wait 2 seconds, and we'll see if we've got a seal for 2 seconds. No. Let's see if we've got it at least for 1 second. This time, I'm going to do it pretty much like straight away. So I'm going to take the shot and then take my finger off and see if that is at least sealed. So we have got pretty much no air seal at all, which is not good and could actually be a reason why FPS was lower in the first place. Because if we're losing that much air and we aren't even able to hold, like, after taking the shot anyway, that is not good. It's good that we're doing this video about air seals, because this thing is not sealed at all. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the stock off. We'll get the air seal done first of all. Then we'll put the spring in and come back and retest it. There are 2 components that we need in order to make this absolutely awesome. The first one is PTFE tape. This stuff is super, super cheap. It's what plumbers use on threads to make sure, you know, that like gas and water kind of connections aren't leak free. Yeah, it's just amazing stuff. I'll put this on all of my guns. And the second thing we need is some grease. So I use this. This is waterproof silicone grease, and I use this on a lot of my kind of gun builds, and this stuff is just awesome. But I'm sure any kind of form of silicone grease will do. Now, even though this whole build assembly here is quite dry, I still want to clean it off anyway, just because if I clean it now, then I know it's clean for sure, and if I don't clean it, then there could be some gunk on there, which is going to have adverse effects later down the line. So to do that, I'll pop the hop rubber off like so, grab my cheeky little cloth, put some isopropyl alcohol on it, and then give the barrel end a bit of a rub down. The great thing about isopropyl alcohol as well is it evaporates once it dries, so it doesn't leave any residue on your barrel, on your hop rubber, anything like that. It just disappears. Right, that is the barrel clean. I'm now going to do the same thing with the hop rubber, both externals of the hop rubber, but I am also going to poke the cloth inside a bit with some isopropyl alcohol in there, just to make sure the inside of the hop rubber is also clean and tidy too. Now, you do want to be careful with this. Anytime that you are poking something inside a hop rubber, you want to make sure that you don't like damage the hop rubber on the inside, because it is easy to tear these things. So just kind of go slow with it, be careful, and make sure you don't catch anything with any sharp bits of things. And just like that, I would say our hop rubber is looking super shiny and clean. Right, so the first step of doing the air seal is you want to take some grease and you want to put it on your finger. You don't need a lot. That is more than enough. Actually, this is way too much. So I'm going to take my little dollop of grease, which you can see there, and I'm going to start on one side of the barrel where the cutout is, just kind of putting it on here, just like so, and rotate the barrel around. And then once I've got to the other end, I'm just going to start wiping it down up the barrel like that. Again, still on the side where the cutout isn't. And then when I get to where the cutout is, I'm just going to quickly wipe a little bit on that top section there. Bring it around just like so. And then start flicking it off towards the end of the barrel like so. And that's even where the cutout is as well. Just like that. Now, the reason why we do that on there is because when you've got a metal surface and a rubber surface, if you've got some kind of oil or grease in the middle, that solidifies your air seal. So now I've got the greased up part of my barrel. I'm going to take my hop rubber, find the alignment edge of it, and I'm going to put that on just like so. And now this is where the PTFE tape comes into the mix. So I'm going to get some of my PTFE tape, find the edge, just like that. Pull a little bit off. I always pull the first reel of tape off because there's no protective covering I've got on this one. By taking that off, you get all the dirty bits off there too. Then I'm going to pull off a length of it, maybe about 10 centimeters or so. And then come down to the barrel and then start to attach it and wrap it around the seam between the hop rubber and the barrel, just like so. And the great thing with PTFE tape is it does stretch to fit what you're putting it on, just like that. And as I go around, I start off softly, not super tight, and I get tighter and tighter, and I pull it down as well, more towards the barrel side, just like that, because then that will reinforce the air seal on the side of the barrel until I get all the way off. Just like that. Now, it is important as well to check that you still have got alignment with your hop rubber, because it really is easy to, when you're putting your PTFE tape on, putting extra pressure on it and forcing it to turn around. And that there should hopefully be a perfectly sealed hop rubber and barrel. But there's no real way to test it apart from putting it all back together again, putting it in the rifle, and then doing an air seal test. So that's what we're going to do now. Right, so that is with our air seal fixed now. Let's quickly cock it and do another air seal check. So we'll go for, again, like 10 seconds. Hey! That's awesome. Cool. Okay, so we've got a 10-second seal on there. Let's see if we could do 230. Oh, I do love it when stuff like that works out. So that is now an infinitely better air seal that we have got on this rifle. I feel like that is a confident performance level which I would be happy to run inside the sniper rifles. So with that sick new air seal, let's re-chrono it. I'm not sure if it's going to go up too much. It would be nice to see it get above, you know, 0.8 of a joule. And then once we've done that, we'll put the new spring in and then we'll chrono with that. Ooh, so that came up as 0.84 joules and 299.8 FPS. I am super happy with that performance. We have increased our power purely just by adding a bit of tape and a bit of lube in the right place. So it just goes to show knowledge is power, or knowledge can make you power, which is great to see. So yeah, if you feel like your riff is underperforming or if you haven't got a great air seal, follow those steps that I gave you and then you'll start to have a much more performant gun. Yeah. With that being done now, let's pop the cylinder out, put the new spring in, and see what FPS we get with that. With that open, we'll take our piston out. There's our floppy spring, which is actually super, super thin. Ugh, don't like that. Get that out of there. Then we'll come back to our 150 spring. Much, much more solid, much thicker. We'll get our spring guide to come out just like so. Pop our spring on the end of the spring guide. Leave it poking out at the end a little bit. And already you can see how much more further out our piston is sticking than it was before. So much more power in this spring. Then we just got to try and get it back on again. We'll pop the cylinder back into our upper receiver. Get our spring guide stopper. Poke that back in there. Now let's just do a quick little test just to make sure it is catching all right. Well, that doesn't seem right. I think we need to buy a new piston. That is kind of stuck there and hard, so I feel like there's extra pressure. I guess we'll add a new VSR 90-degree piston to the shopping list for the AAC T10 then. That is a pain. For now then, I guess we'll just call this video there. We can't do another air seal test. I hope this has been informative for you on how to sort out the air seal on your rifle. And this will work with any rifle. It'll work with an AEG, like an M4, an AUG, literally anything that has a hop rubber in it, which is every single airsoft gun, this method will work on. So give it a go, try it out yourself, and enjoy that little bit more power and consistency. Huge shout out to all of my lovely patrons. I love you all very much, supporting the channel month on month. And this month we have an over £200 giveaway going on the Patreon. So if you want to get involved in that, head over to the Patreon. The link is in the description below, and join either the Airsoft Legend or the Airsoft Royalty tiers, and you'll be able to walk away with some fun stuff at the end of it. Also, at the Airsoft Royalty tier, you get a free patch every month. So yeah, that's cool. Keep an eye out for that. Also, just a quick big shout out to the Discord community. I love you guys. If you're not on the Discord community yet, check out the link in the description below too, and join in. Chats go on every single day about everything and anything under the sun. So yeah, enjoy. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to call your hits, and I'll see you in the next one.